Hello, everyone. Today in conversation, we have with us Dr. C. Ananda Ramakrishnan. He is the director of Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Thanjavur. He has more than 2 decades of experience in the field of research and development and administration. We welcome you, sir, for this interaction.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Before we talk about food processing and venture into the journey of millets, I would like our viewers to know a bit about you. Dr. Ramakrishnan has ventured into the field of research and development, and his research endeavors are well documented in the form of 120 impact factor publications with an average impact factor of 4.05. He has 2 international patents and 7 Indian patents as well. He is also the author of 6 books and 61 book chapters published by coveted publishers. Recently, he was awarded with the prestigious ICAR Rafi Ahmad Kidwai Award for Outstanding Research in Agricultural Sciences 2019. He was also awarded with Tata Innovation Fellowship 2019 to 2020 by DBT Government of India. He is also the recipient of the prestigious NASI Reliance Industries Platinum Jubilee Award 2018 and the All India Food Processors Association's Special Platinum Jubilee Award for Development of Food Processing Technology and Innovation 2018. Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan is the elected Fellow of National Academy of Sciences, Fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry, and Fellow of Royal Society of Biology. He was also awarded with National Design Award 2019 for outstanding contribution by the Institution of Engineers, National Design and Research Forum. Dr. Ramakrishnan has been heading the Indian Institute of Food Processing and Technology. So I would like to tell our viewers a bit about the institute as well. The Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology is a pioneer research and educational institution under the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Government of India. The institute was founded by Dr. V. Subramanian, an eminent scientist and founder, director, CFTRI, Mysore. The institute was originally started as a research and development laboratory in 1967 to address the post-harvest losses in paddy crop. Later upgraded as a national laboratory with the name Paddy Processing Research Center in 1972. Considering the vital importance of strengthening research and development efforts in the post-harvest processing, preservation, and value addition of raw agricultural produce, the Ministry of Food Processing Industries strengthened and upgraded the institute as Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology on 31st March 2017. In today's segment, we would like to talk about the recently launched centrally sponsored Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises Scheme, also known as the PMFME scheme. IIFPT has been instrumental in the implementation of this scheme as well as creating awareness amongst various beneficiaries through webinars, national seminars, as well as capacity building workshops. Sir, we welcome you for today's interaction and we would love to know your thoughts on the scheme and how it is reaching out to its beneficiaries.
Thank you so much. And you well aware of that our PMFME scheme, well thought scheme to connect the farm gate to the mainstream of main industry. If you look at India's almost, we are the sixth largest grocery market in the world, and our workforce and the capacity and export, we are ranked fifth in the country. But it's a large industry. But unorganized sector is almost 25 lakh small and medium enterprises are there. If you look at the throughout the globe, we are number two in the MSME sector. In food sector, almost 25 lakh. We need to bring into the normalized form in this into that. That's what PMFME scheme objective is that. But how to do that and what is the advantage when we do this? Mainly when the produce come from the farm gate, when it comes to the supply chain. In between this MSME play the major role, especially micro food processing enterprises will play the vital role, not only generate the local income and also it generate employment in the locally. So that's what this support from the ministry, what we plan to do that under this scheme will help a lot of micro food processing enterprises as well as the growth of the this MSME sector at the large. And apart from this scheme, not only looking for the only for the small units under the PMFME scheme for the support of 10 lakhs, this one. Apart from that, we have the farmers producers organization support, and then self-help group support and incubation center and support for the branding and marketing. This and all will definitely help the whole supply chain will get boosted through this support is given from the government of India. So definitely this is the one of the scheme people are waiting for long, and it is announced. Definitely this will be have the better success stories.
So, since we are talking about success stories, there are a lot of success stories that are responsible due to IFPT and its incubation centers. So, if you can share some light on the various success stories that have come out of IFPT, our viewers would love to know about that.
Yeah, if you look at IFPT and incubation center, it is a little bit different from other incubation centers operated in our country. And what we did here, any entrepreneurs or startups that come to institute, they can bring the raw material, they can process here, they can take. And we are not renting out the space. That's what most of the incubation centers are does. But here we allowed to use equipment for the rented basis. They have to pay only electricity charge, some user charges, and they bring the raw material, they process the pack, and they can take and putting into the market. So 6 months time we allow them to use our facilities. So that 6 months the incubating time, they can understand the market sense of that product, market accessibility of that product, then automatically they can grow themselves. That's what we allow to do that, and almost more than 100 entrepreneurs have come up from IFPT incubation itself. And recently last week also I inaugurated one unit that incubates. Earlier he started one millet biscuit unit nearby. Only 2 years back he inaugurated a unit, and he is doing very well business on that. Only he has used to do that millet biscuits, and now he is even exporting to the Gulf and Singapore countries. He thought he wanted to create one more unit for his wife, and what they are doing is they are doing the vermicelli and the pasta. Just they put the one pasta unit and vermicelli unit, all both you can do it, and the changing their diet. They opened one more unit. So this gives clear indication is our incubator is really growing very well. Even I spoke to one of the traders they who is going to buy their product from here to Singapore. They're very happy about their product, and even their packing, and when it goes to the other countries, even label has been changed. When we used to see that IFPT technology has been taken, IFPT support, this type of enterprises is coming up. Really is happy to see that. Even we visited to that unit, most of the employees are women, and when they work in that units, that's the one that's success about a story of uh, any institutions which lies on that. That's what we are happy to see. That not only that, another one, Kokila, one more unit, she opened her unit in the heart of the city itself, and she's doing also millet biscuits only. They're doing really good business, and we need to give more support for them to go for the larger scale and other things. Definitely that's what this PMFME scheme definitely will help, because this scheme is two things. One is ODOP, everybody aware of that, one district one product. New entrepreneurs can go with the only ODOP. Existing enterprises, they can apply under this scheme. So these people definitely will can, if they wanted to expand, this will help. For example, that first example, what I said, that Navy Foods. Now he is putting only vermicelli and pasta making. If he wanted to go for the extruder, twin screw extruder and all, he may not, because already he has taken the loan from bank and he's starting. He wanted to expand the small unit to the large unit. Definitely this scheme will help to do that. So really this IFPT incubation, what you ask, that success story is continuously increasing, and we wanted to continuously support not only for the giving the facility for them, and very soon their problem in this micro enterprises is the marketing and branding. So we are planning to create a virtual stores. For example, in metros and most of the our towns in our country now, almost 20% of the products sold in the supermarkets. So how people are buying from the supermarket? When you enter the supermarket, where is your eyeball is going? How attract that one? I like some product. The same product my son may not like it, because his color and the appealing and all perception of his is entirely different. So how to understand this data? So we creating the actual stores. Suppose in Coimbatore or Delhi, one store is the same store will be created in the monitor, bigger screen. We put the people to walk through that where this eyeball moves. So according to that, we collect the data and we try to support these people. No, no, no. You have to create the labeling. Is not only yellow color. You can go for the green color with the blue color combinations, a shape of the product like this. All these things we can support to them. That's what the virtual marketing. That support we already started giving to our enterprises, and very soon that whole software development is going to be established in our incubation along with the existing facilities what we created. So definitely this will support micro food processing enterprises very well, and we have done almost 100 enterprises, but we wanted to double next coming 2 years time. So definitely we can do that under PMFME schemes.
That's a very innovative change that you're bringing into the sector. And since you talked about bringing in a virtual center that will also incorporate softwares, and I'm assuming artificial intelligence as well. This also talks about different innovations that are happening in the sector. So, if you have to talk about any specific research based or technological innovation that has happened at IAFPT that has really helped these micro entrepreneurs to either enhance their production methods or to improve their crop produce, any interesting research that might have happened, we would love to know about that.
Yeah, if you look at our millet production, our country is almost 40% of the whole world is what produce the millet. And but we need to increase the marketability of these millets. That's what people are not coming forward to cultivate millets, because even millet needed almost 30% of what we used for the rice production. Very less water consumption. Very good nutritive product in the millets. For example, proteins, fiber, iron, calcium, everything is available. But some issues are there. For example, millet flour storage. That issue we need to sort it out, and how to convert this millet into the value-added product. That's what IFPT has done. A lot of millet value-added product. One such product we made the dry idli formulations, idli dosa formulation from the millet. Just you have to add the hot water. You can make the idli and dosa, because South Indians, a lot of people used to take from the idli and dosa. So we made it from the millet. So that means you get per gram more proteins, more fibers that normally won't get it from the other grains that much amount, and especially iron and calcium. So this product is already we transfer the technologies for this idli dosa millet mix. And apart from that, you asked about innovative product. One such product what IFPT is developed with the millet ice cream. For example, ice cream normally made it from the dairy based. So what we thought of, why not we'll make the ice cream from the millet. So two things. Ice cream is like you need to convert the water into the ice along with the millet. So the food business all about how to sell the water and air. If you do that, you get very good value profit margins, because most of the industry sustaining with the profit margin. And millet, why they are unable to do that? One is the storage problem of flour. Second one is the profit margin. So we thought of converting this millet into the ice cream will definitely help our millet growing farmers will get better returns, or who are working in the micro food processing enterprises, they'll get the better return. That's what we create the millet ice cream. Almost 3 companies taken the license from the IFPT. They are already doing the business. We want more people to take our this millet ice cream to familiarize throughout the country. We want more people to take non-dairy ice cream from the millet. They get not only the pleasure of taking the ice cream, so because ice cream we take for enjoyment, yes, but along with that, you'll get a very good nutrition. Proteins, fibers, and iron, all the things are there in this ice cream. That's what we invented. Not only that, even that cone, we made it from the waste from the jackfruit. We converted the jackfruit waste into the cone. So both the things, because waste utilization also can happen along with the line of the converting into this millet into the ice cream. This is the one innovations what I can say. One more thing also, we are working with the 3D food printing. We developed India's first indigenous 3D food printer, and we come up with the first scientific document research papers on food 3D printing. Now we are working to reduce the cost of that machine, the 3D food printer machine. And one side that, another side is we are going further this 3D printer to make a bigger industry commercial segment, how they can use this one. So for example, what this 3D printer will help, because you wanted to make it a personalized food. That's what people wanted. I want this much amount of the protein, this much amount of the fiber. Can I get it? is possible because millet has the protein and fiber. What we have taken the millet mix, we convert into 3D form of millet snack that has the protein and fiber, almost 17% protein because we enhance the protein content per snack. So that we made it from the 3D printer. Even we can print in your face with the millet. So that's what we invented, and we wanted to continue to do research on that area. We are doing it. For example, now people wanted to switch over to the meat to the vegan or plant-based meat. Can I get meat based on the plant? Yes, it's possible. Can I get the same thing from the millet? Yes, it's possible. But how to convert this protein, that millet protein, into texturized form, and we'll get the same type of texture, taste, flavor. This 3D printing will allow to do that. Some already people have done in the Western countries. No, now we are working in IFPT to develop such type of artificial meat based on the millet and other grains we are working on. We are getting good results, but we need to go a long way to convince the customers is as good as the meat. So that type of innovations are going on based on the millet area itself. For other area also we are working, and especially for example digestion, how whatever you are taking, how much amount of the product has been nutrient has been digested in your body. For example, millet you are taking, iron is there. How much iron is absorbed in your body, and when it is digested, what is the glycemic index? So for that, we developed Asia's first human digestive system, stomach and intestinal system at IFPT. Recently, we announced anyone in the country can use that system for study the glycemic index and glycemic load. Apart from that, even you can study the disintegration kinetics. You develop the millet biscuit, and when it goes to stomach, when it break down, when it goes to intestine, how much amount of absorbs, everything we developed artificial digestive system. It's available in IFPT. I think in India only IFPT is working on such type of research. So these innovations continuously is going in IFPT to support Indian industry as well as the food sector.
This is immensely enlightening and eye-opening information that I think our viewers would be much more keen to know about. And throughout what you have told me, I felt that there is a constant journey of evolution and advancement that is constantly happening over a period of time. And since you've had more than 2 decades of experience in the industry itself, over a period of these 2 decades, what trends have you observed that have come time and again, or any new trends that you feel that in the future an aspiring entrepreneur can look forward to?
See, if you look at food itself, like 50 years back, we used to take for the energy. Just we'll pump whatever carbohydrate, whatever proteins we used to take. Then later, it has come evolution of nutrition. We looked into the we want nutrition like a protein, fiber, all the things. Now people are going different on thought process. What my opinion, they are taking food for soul. They want not only for the energy, nutrition, I want to get pleasure when I take the food. So people are going beyond that, and they want a customized food. For me, this is the amount of the protein, this is the amount of the fiber, this is the what I want, this is the shape of the food I want. And it's going on the totally customized form. The consumer demand, a consumer thought process entirely changing. That is because of the other industry. All we aware of that every September months, new mobile phone is coming. What is that new update? This is the what people are thinking. The same thing is come to the food product as well. They want the same form in the different things. For example, Sonic enhanced food. One food has been nowadays is coming up. What is that? First, we'll see any food. Eye is first look into that. Then nose, the smell will hit in your nose. Then you take the food product to your tongue, taste, you sensitize, then you enjoy the food. Now ears also come into play. Suppose they serve the fish in front of you along with the seashore sound. In UK, one study, one restaurant, they give the fish, the processed fish along with the music, the seashore sound. They're taking 3 times more plates. So that's what people are trying to do all these things along with the normal product itself. So according to consumer demand, how to go with this industry? So industry, one recipe has been developed and production, either London or Melbourne or Delhi, the same recipe. Example for any chocolates, what we are taking, same recipe throughout the globe. Now everybody want personalized one. How to go with the personalized type of food? That is the big challenge, and everyone needs entirely different. They want ready to eat, ready to cook, the convenience, and people convenience each person is differs. So how to go with that? That's what a lot of startups are coming up in this sector. So definitely this trend is maybe the going to be there another 10 years. So we need to closely look how best our industry will respond for this type of trends.
So customize a much more customized approach, much more focused approach
Yeah.
would be something that everyone should look for in the future, especially. Right, sir. And sir, since nowadays entrepreneurship is not just a distant dream, but it has become a much more, but it has a much more mainstream appeal as a career option. According to you, what are some of the mistakes that what are some of the mistakes that aspiring entrepreneurs often make, or major aspects that they overlook?
Yeah, issue is that day one they'll come immediately they wanted to export to the US or Western country, whatever the country. They have to understand the what is the customers the taste and what they need. How to understand the behavior and they what type of product they need. That they are not able to guess it. Not all, very few. For that, my suggestion is first you develop the product, give to your home, convince your people, five people are at home, at least three people has to accept your product. Then move to your street, go for your town, then expand to your district, then state and think about it. So this is the what one should expand the business. The risk they have to calculate always that. And second thing, profit margin. So immediately you wanted to venture into that any business model, any startups or small entrepreneurs, they may compromise the profit margin initially, but they never calculated over the time when you fix the pricing. Yes, you compromise your profit margin, you fix the lower price. Yes, fine. But over the time, your raw material cost will increase, your production cost will increase, operating cost will increase. Are you afford to add into that your product? Because you can't increase the product price every year. So that issue they have to understand. If you able to judge this all the operating problems, then pricing is the key element. So you need to understand what is the margin you are fixing the profit margin. According to that, add on to that, keeping the view of next 5 years time or 10 years time, what is that price you wanted to keep it in your product. So this is the what people are missing the link. Immediately they wanted to do business, yes, you fix the lower margin. Later, this input cost is increasing, you wanted to increase the price. People may, your customer may switch over to other product because some product lower price will be there. So this is the one thing they have to be calculative and cleverly they have to fix that price and where which segment you wanted to use. A premium segment, yes, what I said about Sonic enhanced food and other things can go for the premium segment where you wanted to play very lower level or middle level and where is your market and all these things one should clearly understand then get into the business easily they can success. Jump into that without understanding the cloud, then that people only struggling. As per my knowledge, I said 100 entrepreneurs come up from our institute. I have closely watched whoever has such type of ideas and knowledge, they're sustaining very well. And this plan should be clearly executed when initial day itself.
That's actually a very good point that I think every aspiring entrepreneur should definitely keep in mind. Researching the market, understanding the consumer, understanding the products, what's in demand, what is changing. I think these are some really important aspects that one should definitely keep an eye out for. If you had to give us a broad understanding about the industry as such, the millet industry as such, and the scope it has for an aspiring entrepreneur, any starting points, any starting pointers that one should definitely keep in mind specific to millets, what should one keep in mind?
See, actually, millet, I said that market is continuously demanding and it's growing, especially in the metros, not in the small towns. Metros, especially for Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, people are thinking like millet as can be a superfoods. Yes, because if you look at the research statistics in the other countries, almost 50% of the people wanted to buy superfoods. It has the nutrient value. Millet has all the nutrient value. Yes, it's good, but we need to see that which are the one we need to do the product, especially for the convenient ready to eat product, ready to cook product. Recently, ready to eat, ready to cook product demand is increased more than 35% after this COVID, the packed food. So millet can easily capitalize, but where is the issue comes the raw material. Can we have the continuous supply for the raw material for the millets? That we need to ensure. Then storage. Once you convert in the millet flour, how long you can store? Some storage issues are there in the millet flour. So that we need to understand. Then you convert as the biscuits or whatever the form, like a cookies or pasta, noodles, all the things people are doing it, and some people are doing a very good business out of that. And we need to see that how best we can expand this market not only for the either India and outside the country. So how to campaign that one? Like for example, other products, superfood, some chia or hemp, they made the very good campaigning. So we need to do the brand, and when we wanted to make it a millet year, and we need to see that how best we can campaign, and branding and marketing of your product is the most important, and safety and GMP, how you manufacture the product. Now, if you look at people want to go beyond the product, beyond the packaging, beyond inside the product, go how you manufacture. That's what ethical food choice people are. I am the responsible citizens. I do all the government of India regulations, everything I follow. When I buy the product, it's manufactured also follows no child labor in the unit, and you follow all the regulations of government, and even carbon. You reduce the carbon footprint. Don't waste things. All the things some industry follows. Definitely, people will try to buy such product. So industry has to think both the way. It is not only the product what you are giving to the consumer customers, and how you manufacture. And millet, definitely what I said, if you make the brand millet, and this is the superfoods, that we have to do that. Millet can be a superfoods, and because of this much nutrient, and you can claim it, and you put it the properly, that definitely is a good market is there.
So, for a viewer who's not aware about millet and who's listening to this interaction for the first time, if you have to explain about what are millets and how have they evolved over time to become an essential part of a common man's diet, how would you describe that?
It is there. Millet, long time we used to take in our Indian traditional foods. Sorghum, finger millet, foxtail millet, barnyard millet. Lot of different varieties of the millet is grown throughout our country. But issue is we are not, because palatability one, and second thing the taste, and we wanted to see always the white color, like that's what polishing the rice, and so that's what our mindset is fixed. Switch over to the one product to another product, you need a mindset. So that we need to convince. Second thing is the millet has the good amount of the proteins, and then fiber, and apart from that iron. It's a very rarely available in the other grains. So millet has the good amount of iron and calcium as well. So definitely people may convince to switch over, but which form you wanted to give? That's what I said. You like the ice cream. Always they wanted dairy ice cream. If you give the millet into ice cream, that form, which form we wanted to give the millet. So such a manner we need to do a lot of research onto that. And I said industry problem is that the storage of the millet. You wanted to make the bulk production of the millet based product, you need to store the millet, either flour and other things. So they have the lot of issues on the storage, longer storage, especially for insects and other things. So we need to do research, and IFPT already doing the different type of storage structures, storage formations, and how to kill the insects if it grows the insects during the storage. So you need to think on that direction. Definitely it has the bigger scopes.
So, with the immense experience that you have gathered over the period of time in food processing sector and having been closely associated with the PMFME scheme, according to you, what are some of the areas that micro food processing enterprises need support with, and how do you think the PMFME scheme would be able to support these micro food processing enterprises in those areas?
If you look at, we decided to go with the one district, one product. Ministry is already approved most of the states. 13 is approved. Remaining things soon they're going to approve. That is uniqueness, because if you look at what we are taking right now in your plate, one third of the product is travels more than 1,000 kilometers. That means that product added extra carbon footprint and cost of the transport, everything. So we wanted to do it in the each district. What is the available raw material? You process there, you capitalize the market in the locally. So that's what this concept has been evolved. And when they start that product, for example, I'm telling you, coconut as the Coimbatore has been selected as the district as the coconut. And look at what is that? Like each tree, coconut tree comes is almost 5 years, and the farmers will get per year per tree only 1,500 rupees. It is the very less amount. If you wanted to increase that one, we need to put a lot of value addition to that. For example, coconut has the medium chain fatty acid. It has that. It has the protein, and a lot of coconut milk, canned milks are available in India, but most of them comes from the other countries. That country is not producing the coconut. They import from other countries, they process, they're dumping into our country. Why we can't do that? So that's what definitely this PMFME scheme, when we encourage it to do only coconut in that district, then government is giving incentives like a support scheme, like a PMFME scheme. They will get 10 lakhs support from the government. They have to invest, that investors has to invest only 3 lakhs. Remaining 17 lakhs comes from the banking loan. And writing the DPR, we are supporting the training, how to file the GST, how to do the branding and marketing, how to get a licensing, how to do GMP, and all the things we are giving full support from the training systems. So they get everything in the, they don't need any consultant, they don't need any technical guidelines. Everything has been provided here in the name of capacity building, and it is selected the every state nodal agency, state technical institute has been already identified each state. They are going to support these micro food processing enterprises. Earlier, what is the problem is, even they wanted to convert this coconut into coconut milk. These micro food processing enterprises, they may not aware of which institute they have to approach. Now they directly ask that local technical institute, yes, you can approach such an institute, it is available. Or not even just go to the IFPT website or Ministry of Food Processing website. We uploaded all the processing condition in all the ODOP product, videos, DPR, all the things we already uploaded. Already we uploaded almost 20 products. We are going to complete with before January, all the products will be uploaded. So it is easily available. They can access the information, technologies, then what else they need? Just they have to run the industry. For that also, the branding and marketing and support system, everything has been inbuilt on this PMFME scheme. I think this scheme definitely will yield more entrepreneurs, and that in turns will give a lot of local employments as well as the economic development of the locals. So definitely this is a well thought scheme, sir.
This will truly make our Bharat an Atmanirbhar Bharat, I believe.
Thank you. Yes, sure.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much for interacting with us. And if there are any thoughts that you would like to share, any thoughts, we would love to know.
Really is a good initiation taken by Ministry of Food Processing Industries, making such type of interactions. Maybe we are starting now, and maybe other experts can speak about respective fields. That will reach more people, and we wanted such initiation to go a long way, because we need to promote this scheme as well as the food processing as, because now you know that export also increasing, and our food processing industry's growth rate almost 10%, and any segment is growing more than the country's growth rate. Definitely there has the uh, lot of opportunities in that particular segment, and the government is giving a lot of support for the segment. So this is the time micro food processing enterprises or large industry has to capitalize, especially farmers, producers, companies, self-help groups. They can use this environment to get this ecosystem can be used well. And definitely what we wanted to do, India should be a world food factory. That is our dream. And PMFME definitely help to do that. And one day we can rule whole world. Everybody will eat India's product. That is our dream. So very soon that will going to happen. Thank you so much, Carl, interacting with you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure talking to you. If you like this interview, please leave a like, share this interview, and we would love to know your thoughts on it. Thank you so much.